As this earth continues to evolve, Episcopalians and Christians around the world, Episcopalians from Taiwan and Micronesia to Europe, and from Alaska to the northern part of South America, will gather in churches to celebrate this great feast. The people who have walked in darkness have seen a great light. God has increased their joy, for a child has been given, whose authority shall grow continually and bring endless peace from this time forth forevermore, says Isaiah. The eternal hope and yearning of the human race emerges from darkness into light in the birth of this child, both humble and divine. We have burdened his shoulders with every earthly failing and divine hope, for light in the darkness, warmth in the cold, food for our hunger, righteousness in place of injustice, an end to violence and war, and a lasting and eternal peace. Those yearnings continue to burst forth in human hearts, and we live in hope that his reign will ultimately bring them to reality. We gather to celebrate his birth and recover that eternal hope. I met a young man named Jesse not long ago in a high mountain town in Colorado. He told of being thrown out of the place where he was living through no fault of his own. He said it was the second time he'd become homeless. The first time he was put out into the darkness of a snowy night with no money and only the clothing he wore. He wandered the streets until the police stopped and asked him what was wrong. They took him to a community agency who helped find him a hotel room for the night. The second ousting from his temporary home meant that now he would flee that town and seek shelter and refuge in a warmer desert clime. He may not have had the traveling companions of the babe born in Bethlehem, but he did have a surrounding community of care and help, bringing light into his darkness. Jesus was born for this, for the homeless Jesse and his brothers and sisters in the cold and hungry darkness of rejection and violence. Jesus is born anew in human hearts every time we meet the vulnerable, which is all of us, once we awaken to the reality of our own longing. We're all filled with the same yearnings for an enduring home and healing in a community of peace. Particularly in this season of want and uncertainty, we look for stability, confidence, and faith in something or someone beyond our own insufficiency. That God might cast off divine glory and be vulnerable enough to take on human flesh seems beyond the ken of many. Yet it is that very vulnerability that offers hope, when we know our own need and hunger and yearning. This frail infant is clothed with divine glory, the lowly lifted up, and the hungry fed at his birth.